There's a hidden barrier stopping you from scaling your Facebook ads, and you won't even know it's there until it's too late. Let me know if this sounds familiar. Maybe you're spending 500 a day, maybe you're spending 1,000 a day. All back-end data looks fantastic, your revenue looks great, your ROAS looks good, so you're set to scale. You increase that budget, and boom, everything falls off a cliff. ROAS tanks, revenue follows suit, and you're left scratching your head wondering what just happened. I like to call this the invisible wall, and it happens for a variety of different reasons, but the answer lies within your data analysis. So when you first increase that spend, there's going to be a story that's told within the data. And the questions you should be asking yourself is, I increase that spend, what happens to my CPM? What happens to my CPC? What happens to my CTR? What happens to my conversion rate on the back end? And what happens to my AOV? Now, there's a lot of different ways that we can go here. Let's take an increase in CPC and a decrease in CTR for this example. When you see that happen when you're scaling, what that's telling me is that we've got a creative problem. Now you say, well, I was getting results, now I'm not getting results. It's a Facebook problem. Look, I hear you, I understand it. But the issue is that Facebook's actually really good at doing what you've asked it to do right out of the gate. It's getting you the results at a lowest cost. And with a lowest cost algorithm, it's getting you the lowest hanging fruit. But as soon as we push beyond that initial pocket of audience that Facebook is going after, we start getting into a colder audience, the people that may not know the brand or may have never seen the product before. And so if the creative doesn't communicate everything that's great about what it is that we do, we might lose out on conversions. The creative isn't good at communicating to a cold audience of why they should click or why they should trust you as a brand or why they should be interested in your product, then any cold audience that you go after, you're gonna lose them. So in this case, what I would do is I would instruct our team to do a competitor analysis. I wanna know who in the space is spending more money than us and testing more than us at that particular moment, and go figure out what's working for them and then do a side-by-side comparison of our best performing asset versus theirs. I would be taking notes on hook, how they're keeping attention throughout the video. What does quick cuts look like? What is the CTA? I would even go as far as to say, hey, how is it being presented by our creator versus theirs? And then what I would do is I would go create a middle ground variation between their creative and our creative, and I would start testing and then continue to iterate and make more variations. Because when you have something that's working, it's giving you positive signals. You don't want to completely write it off, but you need to make it more appealing to a colder audience. If you're interested in what happens if AOV drops or your conversion rate drops every time you scale, stick around. I'm going to go over this in more videos. But the truth of the matter is, people will blame Facebook, they'll blame their ad accounts, they'll blame their pixel, they'll blame everything that they can think of. When in reality, the signal is that you've got to do more work on the creative front. Pay attention to that data and you'll break through that invisible wall.